This is going to be a 3-year program, and we are going to be spending a lot of time together. But for our first session here, I would just love to be able to go around to the tables, and if you would just say a few things about yourself, which program you're with, just so we can become familiar with you all as well.
In 2009, we created the Project Le'er under the Early Reading First federal grant. This was a project that was going to help our community understand early literacy and the impact of the instruction that it has on children and how teachers are using strategies in the classrooms. We brought in 2 partners to this project. One, the University of Miami, who was going to gather the data that we were going to use later to examine and verify what gains children and teachers had gotten during the process. And then we brought in McCrell. McCrell is a research organization from Colorado. And with McCrell, we engage in conversations and relationships and collaborations with Elena Bedrova, a renowned research and educator in the area of early childhood. We were looking for a grant that was going to allow us to work with children who in the past years had had low results in the area of early literacy. After many conversations with practitioners in Miami-Dade County, we came to realize that part of the problems and issues that they were facing was their lack of understanding, true understanding of what strategies were needed from the part of the teacher to instruct a child in the area of early literacy. And from the part of the children, it's how important the environment and the materials that we were using were going to be in the learning process. This grant allowed us to do that.
So now let's look at the morning message. What is my morning message? Take your thinking caps on. Put your thinking caps on. And show me bunny breathing, because we need to calm down. I hear lots of talking. Show me your bunny ears. Breathe in. Let it run.
It is the message that children produce, but they produce it under teacher's guidance. So the teacher gives them a picture to make sure that they're all thinking along the same lines. And the teacher finalizes it in a way that first keeps message to a manageable size. Second, children learn about the relationship between spoken words and written words. We said the words, and then we wrote them down, and then we read the same words.
So what are we going to do now?
Write this picture.
What is this called? We're going to do the morning message. Thank you, Ardesia. That's exactly what we're going to do. So first I need to do what? The benefit of the morning message is that when I'm writing down, they can actually guess towards what they want to do, actually using the picture as a guideline to guess what they're going to do for the rest of the day. Before the kids come in, they have no idea what's going on for the rest of the day. In the morning, they know it's morning message. We do the lines. That's to help them with literacy and phonological awareness. So they know what the morning message is about. So with the morning message, it's giving them something to look forward to.
Are you ready? We are going to do graphic practice. What do you think my sentence should end with?
My history as an educator, I've been teaching for 13 years. This is my 2nd year working with the United Way, and it's been amazing. I see the children's engagement in a different way, and especially the early reading first strategies, the SEL that we implement in the classroom. They are more focused and geared towards children's growth in literacy, and that is the biggest joy that comes out of the teaching.
Let's hear. That's Chastity. Focus.
To do graphic practice.
Circle, 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 circle.
A lot of the things that I wasn't aware of is a lot of self-control, self-regulation. For a lot of the things that we work on, for example, graphic practice, they work on the, drawing with when the music is on, and when the music stops, they have to stop. I'd never realized how difficult that is for such young children, and it really helps them.
Sunflower. Sunflower.
That sounds like a cricket. I know that was me. That was me.
When we pause the music, that means the child stops. And it's always letters, but they're not even seeing that. Like when they're doing the circle, for example, we were doing a teddy bear, we were saying a bear. So that is letter O. We're not telling them it's letter O, but that's an O. The ears, that's a letter C. So it's all in the early stages of the literacy and the letters, but we're not telling them, hey, let's do a circle, let's do letter O.
You can tell at the beginning compared to how they are now at a level, it's just amazing how they know automatically, and they not only are aware that they need to do it, but if they see a friend sitting next to them and that continues drawing, they're like, you need to stop. And then the self-control and self-regulation helps in everything. It's something that they learn, but this skill is helping them, further develop it.
Mire, tengo una pared. ¿De qué color es esta pared? Muy bien, amarilla. ¿Y esta pared? Azul, muy bien. ¿Y esta?
Azul.
Este es azul, sí, Vanessa. ¿Pero esta de qué color es?
What we basically do is have every child, no matter what their home language is, be exposed to the Spanish language. And in my case, because I'm the Spanish-speaking person in that room, is for them to be fluent, maybe not only in their native language, but also in have a second language. And because they are a child, it's easier for them to acquire that language at that age.
I speak Spanish. I'm the person designated to speak Spanish in the classroom. And my group, when I do small group or when I do like the planning, is done in Spanish. We do small groups in English and Spanish, and I get both of the groups. Like 1 week I'm with one group, then the other week I'm with the other group. We switch every week. So everything we do it in English and Spanish, just switching the teacher.
We're going to sound it out. Are you ready for it? Show me that you're ready. Brr, E, K. So who's going to be the first one to do brick? Nicholas, go. Go ahead. Brr. Good job. Give me 5. Excellent. Our next one.
This is a strategy that we learn during our regular workshops with Ms. Bozrova. The kids really enjoy practicing this because they get to do it themselves. So when we say, okay, let's break down a word, which means let's segment a word, they will jump for each phoneme they sound. Like if we say cat, for each of them, they will jump on a hula hoop until we complete the word. And at the end, they will say the whole complete word. As you know, each curriculum has its own ways. No curriculums are the same, they're different. But because of the sales strategies, the end product is quite different. It's the level of the students' progress academically is outstanding. I'm very surprised and happy to see that.
Sit down. Remember, if you have the lip, you talk, and if you have the ear, you need to listen. Okay, sit down. Sit, because he needs to listen. Get closer so he can listen. Thank you, Aaron.
Can I be? Look at this guy.
You have the ear. Remember, you have the ear.
We're going up. I got him. We're going down. We got it for her.
Buddy reading is another strategy that we use. And in partners, they get partners. They can choose the partner that they want. And if they are having a little bit of hard time, then I will say, okay, you can go with him. They get 2 books that we had read to them, so they are familiar with the books. And one will get the ear, and the other will get the lips. So if they have the lips, they will get the book, and then will open the book. The one that has the ear will have to show the ear. The one that has the lip will have to open the book, and they will start reading. What they see in the book, they say, oh, they can make up a story, depending on what they remember about the book or what they are observing in the book. Once they are done with the lip, they switch. So the one that had the ear will have now the lip, and then the other one will have the ear.
Green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam. I do not like green eggs and ham. Green eggs and ham.
I started at United Way last year, so this is my 2nd year. And when I started The Early Reading First program was already in place, but when I interviewed, I knew nothing about it. I previously taught 5 years for the public school, and the students that I was teaching, they had no phonemic awareness. They were lacking the basic phonological skills, the basic phonics skills. And I have children that we saw today in buddy reading that were partly memorizing a book, but we're reading it. We're looking at the letters. They know some of the sight words. They're sounding them out, and they're using all those skills that we've been practicing for these past 2 years. I think that the use of these strategies is definitely getting them much better prepared for kindergarten.
For me, the advantage is self-control, that they have to learn how to take turns talking. Also, that they are creating their own story.
Early childhood is the time when the areas of brain responsible for self-regulation are undergoing rapid growth and development, and if children are not practicing self-regulatory behavior, this growth doesn't happen as fast as it should have. So early childhood provides this unique window of opportunity for children start learning self-regulation and self-regulatory behaviors.
Actually, it's made it more easier because the kids, once they follow the routine, once you follow the routine a couple of times, they know it. So in the morning, they know it's morning message. We do the lines. That's to help them with literacy and phonological awareness. So they know what the morning message is about. Then they go on to the freeze dance. That's to get the little energy out. So they need that.
Melissa, look over here so you can be ready. At the beginning, when I came here, it was really hard because I feel like I have to learn these strategies in order to implement them correctly and be beneficial to the children. So now that I know the strategies, I think that, yeah, they are really beneficial for the children and as a teacher also. For example, the linear calendar. I was used to, not the linear calendar, but the square calendar with 7, and then when they explained to me why we use the linear calendar, I was like, oh, this makes sense now. And it's true, for the children, it's better to look at the calendar and not a square and then, okay, the week ends and then go back. And I see that they get the concept, oh, we're almost at the end of the month, or we're in the beginning, we're at the middle, or something like that. What day is today? Tuesday, that's right. And if today is Tuesday, what day will be tomorrow? Wednesday. That's right. So let's write it. Today is Tuesday. And what's the letter for T? Wednesday today. Tuesday. At the university, you are not taught to teach this way. So I was like, okay, let me learn. But I can say that it's very beneficial because you are teaching the children how to think.
Okay, let me see who's ready to pick their center. Flip your paper over, like Kyle, like Dylan, like kind of like Ernesto, like Dwight. Great job. Zahid, where would you like to go? Okay, what color? Dwight, that's not very polite. What color is block area? Purple. Okay, so what color are you going to plan with? Teacher, where's my red dot? Fell off? So these are the areas that our classroom is divided into. You have literacy, manipulative, art area, block area, discovery area, and dramatic play. And the materials are rotated all the time, constantly based on the children's interests and their needs. And for the kids, before they do work time, they get to pick one area, and they know that we do it in a small group, so only 2 children from my group can pick this area.
What center would you like to work at today? Let me go over your centers. We have toys, the yoga studio, the library, the cafe, the theater, space, arts, that's right, or the writing center. Where would you like to work today?
So play planning is one of the cell strategies. It originates from the morning message. In the morning message, you write a message. You create a picture. And in the picture, you create clues. Within those clues, you have children try to disassemble the message. For example, today's morning message was, Today we are going to listen to a story about a bear. So that carries into play planning in the sense that their stem is, instead of today we are going to, they write I am going to. And then you ask them, okay, so what is your sentence going to be? And then they'll say something like, I am going to be a chef. And you just basically help them produce the sounds so that they can write the words. You don't want to give them the letters. You want to sound it out with them. And then eventually the goal is to independently have them send out the letters to make words. I am going to computer. Let's do it one more time. I am going to computer. Computer is one word, okay? Period. Mia Guevara, read me your sentence from last time.
I am going to computer.
Very good. Okay, sit down, Loretta. Where would you like to work today?
To toys.
To toys also? Okay, what would you like to do at toys today?
To make a
Janelle, they're already on.
Like Jacob make a house for dinosaurs.
You would like to make, okay, can you clap out that sentence for me? Go.
I am going to make a house for dinosaurs.
Period. Okay.
Their first step is to draw what they're going to do. So for example, this student drew, she chose a block area, which corresponds with the colors, and she had a castle. And after they draw their picture, they can draw themselves in it, whatever they choose to do. Then they do their sentence that goes with their picture, and they know that each line corresponds to a word. And then they take their plan to their center and they keep it there in case they need any reminder of what they're doing, to encourage them to stay in the center that they're at.
Honestly, to tell you, the first year when I looked at these strategies, I didn't want to buy it. I was like, no, I don't think it's fair. But then I saw the way how children got excited with the play planning. Okay, you're gonna plan. And it was my plan, and they would take it to the center, so it was more meaningful to them. So as a teacher, I had to learn myself what is the right way of teaching and explaining play planning to them. So the SEL strategies are great to help. It brings meaning to the day's layout in a classroom. And from the beginning of morning message, it also ties with the play planning.
By working on planning play, we actually accomplish three things. We make sure that play happens at a high level because children are thoughtful about how they play. Second, as they plan, they engage in self-regulation. They don't do things on impulse, they do things intentionally. And third, they use language. And as you will see, they will use not only oral language, but also pictorial and finally written language.
What are you cooking, Ronald? What are you cooking?
We're cooking something delicious.
Oh! We've seen a lot of children be exposed to new things, whereas you have the gender-specific roles where girls are supposed to play with dolls and boys are supposed to play with blocks. And we encourage all of the children to play in all the different areas. They get to choose, but we see that through our interactions in block area and our interactions in dramatic play, that those gender roles are broken.
I have seen dramatic results. There is so much more intentionality and purpose for the children coming in and not just, okay, well, here you're going to have breakfast, lunch, and snack, and you're going to take a nap, and you're definitely going to go outside and play. And in between, we're going to try to teach you the alphabet and some numbers. It's not like that. It's like amazing to see the children excited about doing their play planning. Like that has been the most exciting part of my training with the teachers. There's reason. There's logic, there's planning, there's thought, there's organization, there's really a lot of intentionality.
The way that we do things and that I have experienced myself as a teacher, it's from the point of view of seeing the child as the protagonist of all the events. So as teachers, we always have to listen to them, we have to follow their lead, we have to really observe what they're exploring, what are the interests. That's a way to also show respect to the children because you're making them feel like my comments are being taken in consideration and my teacher is really exploring what I want to learn.
I do see this working. I definitely see a connection and I see why this is purposeful. It's meaningful. It's not just something else you have to do and you're like, what's the benefit? There's definitely a benefit and I see it every day.
They are reading, they are writing. I had never had this amount of writing and reading with my other curriculum. I have not had, no. This is real visible, encouraging the children to be independent and be able to do things on their own. No doubt, these strategies work.
And I think that the SEL strategies help us. I find them fascinating, and I tell the parents are in total awe. You know, it's the techniques that we're using, that it's giving them the tool, the ability to succeed.
The teachers have gone through training for 3 years now, and they've gone through learning the strategies, implementing the strategies, and now finding other ways for the children to be successful through the strategies. I think it's very exciting for the teachers because they see the progress in the children, and when you see a child that maybe in the beginning couldn't hold the pencil, and by the time they leave your classroom they're writing sentences and coming up with words and are able to read, then that's just fuels you more to continue going.
I've really seen a lot of changes in my children, the way they're reading, the way they're recognizing words, the way they're learning new words. This is what is needed before them to do better in public school.
To see the children grow as a family, not like as an individual as well, but as a family in the classroom, to bring up as a community, that is my biggest aha moment every day when I see them accepting a choice they would not last year, so I see the growth.
I think being a preschool teacher has the biggest impression on a child's life of school. You are their first teacher. You are the one that they're going to remember. So we're really there to help build them up and give them the confidence and the knowledge and the strength that they need to do well through the rest of the years of school. I have such an involvement with my children and their families that bridge, I feel like I'm part of their families and they're part of my world, they're part of my life, and I hope that I continue to be a part of theirs after they leave here.